Prepare yourself for a very emotional episode with Affinity Archives.
Why are you trying to sound creepy?
Not creepy.
Really? You dropping the voice like 8 octaves?
It's
You are going to cry your face off.
It's serious.
Okay.
That's what the low tone is.
That's serious? Okay. Well, we need to
I will talk like this for the rest of the episode.
If you try... I don't even know. Alright. Alright.
So anyway, we're playing 3/4 Home, which is a... I would describe it as like an interactive story.
Okay.
I don't know how linear this game is or how much things change based on your decisions, but you're basically going through a series of dialogues.
I gotcha.
And it's a very emotional game.
Well, yeah. When Chris pitched before we get into this, we were hanging out the other night with Nathan, and Chris's pitch was, "Who wants to play a sad game?" And me and Nathan sort of looked at each other like, "I don't know. I mean." Sure. So basically, Nathan was like, "It's all about you. Go for it." And I was like, "Oh, great. Okay."
And originally, I was going to play this with Jen, and it didn't work out. But I knew that by the end of the series, she'd be bawling her eyes out. So you might be too.
Well, that's
maybe I will be. Ooh.
That'd be really funny. I'm sorry. If like the credits are rolling, we're both like, I'm gonna lose my shit watching that back.
But anyway, should we get into it?
Let's do it.
So this will definitely be a lot less of us like talking game design or talking about the game, and probably more of us just reading. But I hope that it's entertaining all the same.
We will, yes. I will try my best, because if this is supposed to be a serious, like, story experience, I will maybe pop in with a joke or two. But if this is supposed to be,
you'll cater to the experience.
Yes,
yeah.
I will cater to the experience. I won't be making fun of Chris's stupid face.
Oh. Yep.
Let's do this.
I love the interface, by the way. I think that style-wise,
yeah,
it's very cool.
It's very interesting.
It moves in very nice ways.
Yeah.
It sets the mood immediately without even having to tell us even what the game's about. You can tell that it's going to be
a guitar pick on the side of the road. Okay.
And here it begins.
Oh, sorry. Okay. That's my one.
And hopefully we don't get too much audio getting picked up by the microphone, but we turned it up a little bit because hearing the audio in this it's kind of important, because it sets a lot of the mood. So if you can't hear it, Cujo, let me know and I'll turn it up a little bit. I'm trying to balance it between microphone and us hearing it.
Gotcha.
So we're in Nebraska.
I really like the design of this. This is really very clever.
You mean the art?
The art is wonderful.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. It's very beautiful.
Am I in control here, or no? Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Kind of cool, right?
Oh, that's cool.
So time stops when you stop, but time moves while you're moving. Now, I don't know if there's any benefit to stopping. I don't know if that changes anything. I couldn't figure out anything. But it's a pretty cool style either way.
Yeah.
But now do you see why the audio is important? Like, it
Absolutely.
sets the scene so perfectly.
The composition is very cool, at least for this first scene.
Mm-hmm. And this, by the way, is probably going to be a very long episode. I don't think we're going to break this up into multiple episodes because
there's no. I feel like with the way you presented this, there's no real point to then be like, okay, next time, see you in the archive.
Yeah, it breaks the flow, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So you see your
Hello.
I think when you first started, there was like a phone call or something. Or a phone call sound.
Oh. Where are you? On my way home.
From where? Where did you go?
Just took a drive.
In this weather? Why?
I needed to clear my head.
Christ, Kelly, you could have told someone you were heading out.
This is already, like, I can already feel my heart,
So-
like...
And this is, I think this is incredibly intelligent the way these dialogues are designed, because you're given, like, you know, two to three options with what to select, but each one makes it that much more personal, and it causes you to empathize with everything, and so, like, it's like you're building this family into your family.
Yeah, this is... oh, okay. Sorry, I'll let you guys know next time.
You better. I was worried sick for a minute there.
Like I said, I'm sorry.
I know you're used to living on your own, but now that you're back home, you have to let us know when you're going to be gone.
It's fair.
See, I knew you were sensible. So where are you at?
In Carthy's Fields, I think.
Way out by the power station?
Yeah, I could see it from here.
You're good. You're a good 20 miles out then. You okay on gas?
Oh, God. Should be.
I feel like this is going to be an important decision. I don't know if it changes anything, but it could.
That's right, you played this a bit before.
Only a little bit. I haven't seen the entire game.
Should be. I've got half a tank.
That should be enough, unless that sensor's acting up again.
Oh my God, this is so cool. Oh God. Here's hoping.
Well, I'm not driving out there to save your ass if it runs dry. Not in this weather.
Hopefully you don't have to.
What were you thinking driving in this weather anyway?
It seemed fine when I left.
How long ago did you leave? The clouds rolled in hours ago.
You guys were still asleep.
Even your dad? He would have been up by 5.
No, I saw him outside when I left.
Him in that damn garden. He wakes up every day like he's still got a job to do. Job to go to, and just spends the day elbow deep in the dirt instead. But he can't grow a damn thing, bless his heart.
I already had a few tomatoes.
I bet he told you that. It's 2 tomatoes. He's out there right now trying to cover them up from the rain.
Why?
Hell if I know. I've never heard of protecting a plant from the rain.
Is he drunk?
He said his leg was hurting him earlier, so it's probably one of those days. It'll be a miracle if he doesn't fall flat on his ass trying to walk out in the mud with those crutches.
How many has he had?
Just a second. I'll check the trash.
Don't police him.
What? I'm worried about him. If he's had more than a couple, the pain must be really bad. I don't understand it really, how someone's leg can hurt when there's no leg there. But I'm no doctor.
It's called phantom pain.
I know what it's called, Kelly. I've been to all of his appointments. Must be a bad one. He's had 5 beers already.
Is 5 normal?
Only on the really bad days. He's been doing better since you called home, I think. He's just been happy to have you around.
I'm glad something good came out of all this.
Don't be like that, Kelly. You know we're happy to have you.
Maybe under better circumstances.
You'll be back on your feet in no time, hon.
Trying.
I know you are. How'd your interview go yesterday, by the way?
Went okay, I guess.
Just okay?
I don't know what to think about it.
What does that mean?
I got a weird vibe.
What, like a creepy vibe?
Sort of.
Who interviewed you? Was it Hank?
I don't remember his name.
If it was Hank, maybe if it wasn't Hank, maybe it was Jacob. Or maybe Charlie? I don't know who's in charge of hiring anymore. Either way, though, Hank's the boss. Dad can call him.
No, that's okay.
What, do you want to call in? Do you want to call instead?
You could do that.
Dad can get you the number when you get home.
Is he still outside?
Thought I heard him come in a minute ago. The hell did he get to?
Send a search party.
Just a second, I'm gonna go look for him.
Okay.
David? Hello? David? So now you just have to hit the ellipses.
Mom,
Why are you yelling? Oh, you can do Ben.
Mom, why are you yelling?
I'm looking for your dad. Have you seen him?
He's upstairs. He's covered in mud. Are you mad at him?
No, honey, I'm not mad at him. What's he doing up there?
Are you mad because he got mud on the carpet?
He what? Oh, Jesus. What was he thinking?
You only say that when you're mad. He's taking a shower.
Okay, you're right. I'm mad now, but not at you.
Good. I didn't get mud on the floor. If I got mud on the floor, would you be mad at me? Thinking Ben was younger.
Yeah, that's the impression I get too. That depends. Don't do it and we don't have to find out.
I wasn't going to. Who are you talking to?
Your sister. Do you want to talk to her?
No. There's a tornado watch. I'm gonna watch the news.
Are you sure?
Yes, someone needs to watch the news, just in case. Where's Kelly? She should be somewhere with in a basement. Or with a basement. Is she somewhere with a basement?
She's on her way home.
Tell her she should drive fast, but not too fast. Getting in a car wreck would be bad, too. Not as bad as a tornado, but still very bad.
Why don't you tell her?
I'm gonna watch the news. Someone needs to watch the news.
If you say so, Ben. Keep me updated. Did you catch all that?
Yeah.
Ben's still yelling at me to tell you to drive faster.
But not too fast.
Look in the background. Shit changes.
God.
It's so cool. Your dad tracked mud all the way up the stairs. Christ almighty. Not cleaning this up. He can do it himself.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So, how is Ben doing?
Oh, you know how he gets when it storms. He's been talking about how it wasn't in the forecast. When he hasn't been locked up in his room, I mean.
What is he doing there?
Oh, we know what he's doing there.
Wanking. I mean, writing.
Writing, I think. It's all he seems to do lately. Wink.
What was he writing?
Oh, I don't know. He never lets me read any of it. But it's been good for him. He's been focused like I haven't seen him in a long time. Usually he'll focus on something really intensely for only a little bit. But he gets frustrated so easily and gets so aimless. Like with the guitar. He was so into that when you lived here, but once you were gone, he just stopped caring about pretty much everything.
He's not playing anymore?
No, he stopped maybe a month after you left for school. He didn't really have anything to focus on after that. It was even worse after we pulled him out of school until he picked up writing last winter. It's been a blessing.
How did I...
Awesome.
I'm scared. How did I not know that?
Guess you didn't ask, or haven't really paid that much attention.
Found his guitar. Found this guitar pick.
Yeah?
I was going to give it to him.
You can still try to.
I just sort of figured he'd still be into it.
We're really out of touch there for a while, Kelly. Once without calling, we'll do that.
I didn't realize.
Wait, here's your father. David, what the hell were you doing out there?
Told you I was covering my tomatoes. The storm's a bad one. I don't want them to get beat up.
I've never heard of anyone doing that, David.
Jesus. Well, Nora, just because you haven't heard of it doesn't mean that it's not a smart thing to do.
You tracked mud all over the carpet too. Look at that.
God damn it, I'll clean it up. Sorry. Dad, you said a bad word. Mommy's not allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to say it, he's not allowed to say it. Sorry, bud, you're right. I'll put $1 in the jar. That's $27. I get to buy a game when it's $50. That's what you said. That's the deal.
Sometimes I wonder if you do that on purpose. Well, I'm not going through puberty, I swear.
I'll never tell. Who's on the phone?
It's your daughter.
That's so. Where's the girl?
Here, you talk to her. I'm done playing go-between.
Do you want me to clean this up?
Just take the phone.
Yes, darling.
Oh, shut up.
Miss Kelly.
Oh, I can do the dad
Oh,
now.
yeah, go for it.
Where the hell are you?
Oh my god. Out by the wind farms.
Shit. It's a good 15 minutes. 15 miles
Jesus.
out in the middle of nowhere. What are you doing out there?
Okay, I'm just gonna put this out there. In terms of how long the conversation went when it first started at 20 miles, if we're talking about a dirt road, that time is actually pretty accurate
Yeah?
to go along with what you're reading. Like, that's... Oh my god, this is really interesting. I'm also really scared. $28!
Kelly said good one, Dad, by the way.
Got it.
Whoops, that wasn't on purpose.
Uh-huh.
God almighty. You sound like your mother when you do that.
You bring it out in us.
It's one of my many talents, according to your mom anyway.
Smart woman.
Sure is, baby girl.
Ew. Dad.
Oh, you're too grown up for that now, are you?
Yeah, since I was 8.
That's news to me. So what are you doing out there?
I went to the old barn.
My parents' place?
Yeah.
How'd it look? You haven't been out there since the accident.
It's looking rough.
I don't want to see it like that.
I didn't think you would.
Ah, hell. This leg.
Is it that bad?
Worst it's been in a while. It must have been the storm. Atmospheric pressure changes and all that. It's the damnedest thing, though. Weird feeling, hurting when there's nothing left to hurt. Nothing hurting where there's nothing left to hurt.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Yeah, well, it could be worse, couldn't it?
You taking anything for it?
No pain meds.
But something else.
Maybe a drink now and then.
Just now and then?
Maybe a little more often than that.
How many today?
3, 4,
Dad.
and I had 5. But it's a light beer. It's hardly drinking at all.
Dad, come on.
If you're trying to make a point, out with it.
Oh, God. I'm like, here's the thing. With this entire thing, I'm reacting like how I would react.
Exactly. That's the whole point. That's why it was written this way. It's fucking genius.
Seriously, it's nothing.
Then let's drop the subject. We can talk later when you're really worried. Now just isn't the time. Not on the phone, not while you're out driving in this weather.
Okay.
So, what are you up to out by my parents' place?
Thinking.
About what? What about? I'm terrible at reading.
It's fine. Us.
Things looking good?
Yeah.
You're a bad liar, Kelly Myers.
Is any of this my fault?
What?
God.
It's so heavy.
Financial troubles?
How on earth could you be to blame for that?
I could have stayed in town, helped out.
And you'd be regretting it for the rest of your life. I wouldn't have even let you do that. Besides, we're doing alright. Not great, but getting by. Who knows? Maybe our luck will turn around. Your mom could find a better job, my disability could go through, Ben could start seeing a new doctor in Omaha. You could finish up your degree. Hell, my garden might even pull through.
What were you doing out there anyway?
I was covering up the tomatoes.
That's weird, Dad.
It keeps them protected.
From water?
No, Kelly, not from water. Though if it floods, we'd have a whole mess of other problems.
It is really coming down.
We haven't flooded in nearly 20 years. I'm not too worried about it. More worried about the wind and the hail. Could bruise up the tomatoes. If it doesn't, just pull them right off.
I guess that makes sense.
See? Always doubting your old man. I may be a bit of a fool, but there's a process to it all.
If you say so, Dad.
Doubt all you want. It's the truth. Oh, hey, Ben.
The meteorologist said that there have been funnel cloud sightings in the county. Kelly needs to get home. Is she driving fast enough?
Why don't you ask her?
I need to keep watching. Tell her she should drive faster.
You got it, bud. Ben's been getting worried. Are you making good time?
Think so. I'm by the high school.
Still got a ways to go then. Don't be too reckless. You ought to beat cheeks. Storm could get nasty.
I'm booking it.
As long as you're being safe.
So what happened to the school?
What about it?
Since when did it have a second floor?
A couple years back, I guess.
Did they really need the extra space?
No, I reckon not, but they had the money to do it.
I thought money was short all around. Oh, ooh. Actually, yeah. Where'd they get the money to do that?
Some sort of grant from the state. Wrestling teams won a couple of big championships, so I guess our little corner is starting to get some attention.
I guess that makes sense.
It was a waste of money, if you ask me. Spending so much on a high school with barely 200 kids.
Investing in our future.
Not the future of this place. Most of them are like you, run off as soon as they graduate.
Some of us come back.
And last I heard, you weren't looking to stick around any longer than you have to. That reminds me, did you ever get back with your pal from high school? Eric or something, was it?
Not yet.
It's not like you to forget something like that.
It's complicated.
Can't be all that complicated. It's a friend. Should give him a ring.
Jesus. Decide what the... like, comment, and subscribe when you want to figure out what I should do here. It's kind of about Jesse.
Oh. Now, what does that have to do with anything?
God. We were all friends in high school.
So what? It's been 6 years.
My God. What if he thinks it's all my fault?
Tell him what Jesse did. That'll get him on your side. Problem solved.
I don't... Never mind. You're right.
That's what I like to hear. It's refreshing to hear those words.
She's... Oh, it's the mom. Do you want to do the mom?
Well, I'll stick with Dad for now.
Okay. She said you were right, didn't she? Or she said you were right, didn't she?
She did. And I am.
Uh-huh.
Oh, don't give me that look.
What look?
That one. That one right there.
David, you're imagining things. Why are you fighting? We're not. I was just going into the living room to watch the news. Come on. Okay. They're showing funnel clouds a few miles.
Kelly, you know the look that I'm talking about, don't you? That glare. You do too, you know.
I know it.
See? I'm not crazy.
Oh.
Oh.
About what we were talking about earlier.
Here we go again.
I'm only worried.
Are those tornado sirens? Feel those shivers run down your spine?
I can hear them too. A tornado. They're showing it on the news.
Okay, Ben, you know the drill. Stairs.
I want to watch it on the news.
Benjamin, now!
Most tornadoes only stay on the ground for a few minutes and travel less than 10 miles. This one is 12 miles away.
Ben, now! Hey, I'm not gonna let you go, okay?
He is. You guys get downstairs.
Your mom is basically carrying Ben down the stairs. I'm heading down now.
Okay, you guys be safe.
We will.
Don't you dare let her off that phone, David.
She needs to pay attention to the road, Nora. I'm hanging up.
Like hell you are. You keep her on that goddamn phone. I'll listen to her getting sucked up into a tornado before I have to sit around and just worry about it. There would be so much debris that her phone would be destroyed before you could hear her get sucked into the tornado. Also, you have to put $2 in the jar.
She could get in a wreck, especially with this wind.
You would probably be able to hear her get in a wreck, unless the phone got thrown from the car or if it was crushed.
Okay, bud. Enough of that. You're gonna give your mother a heart attack.
Ask her if she can see anything.
Christ, Nora. Here, you ask her. Talk to your mother, Kelly. Alright, so now I'll assume the role of mom again.
Okay.
Kelly? Can you see anything out there?
Just rain.
No hail?
No, just rain.
The tornado was east of here. If Kelly went to Grandpa's house, she's northwest of here. She wouldn't see a tornado unless there was another one, which is very possible. Thanks,
Ben, I'm going to punch you.
I just wanted to make sure, Ben.
If Kelly gets sucked into a tornado or gets into a car wreck, can I have her computer?
Benjamin!
She won't need it if she's not using it. No one will be. It wouldn't be fair if I couldn't have it.
Okay, bud. I think that's fair. Kelly gets sucked into a tornado. I'm sure she'll be okay with you having her computer.
What about her room?
Please, Ben, that is enough.
It's dead again.
Oh, I'll tell you what. We'll leave her room on the table. You never know. We could get some damage here, and her room might have a giant hole in the ceiling. If I were you, I'd wait to see on that investment.
Alright, that's a good point.
Your brother, sometimes, God bless him.
Let me talk to him.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay, you asked for it. Ben, here, talk to your sister.
I don't want to.
You can ask her about that computer.
Let me have the phone. Shit. Do you want Ben?
Yep. Dad says I can have your computer if you get crashed or sucked into a tornado.
Hey, Benji.
Don't call me that. You know I hate it when you call me that. My name isn't Benji, it's Ben.
Sorry. I forgot.
Don't do it again.
I won't. I promise.
You said that the last time.
I probably did.
No, you definitely did. I remember. It was 2 weeks ago. You called me Benji, and I told you not to call me that. And you promised that you wouldn't.
Okay, I definitely did.
Mom and Dad are arguing in the corner. They don't think I can hear them.
What are they arguing about?
Mom thinks we should be in the storage room on the east side of the house because she says it's further underground.
Is it?
No, one of the walls is only halfway covered. She's also afraid that the water heater in here could explode. If that happens, we'd be killed even if we were in the other room. We'd burn to death.
So you guys are in the safest room?
We're least likely to be killed by a tornado if we are in this room, but there's no guarantee in either room. Tornadoes and debris are unpredictable. Or debris. Wow, that was bad.
Debris?
Yeah.
Sounds like you've thought this out.
It's just common sense.
Are you scared?
Yes.
Anything I can do to help?
How?
We could just talk.
About what?
You've been writing a lot lately, haven't you?
Yes.
Do you want to read me one of your stories? Like how we used to tell stories to each other.
All my stories are upstairs. It would be dangerous to go upstairs during a tornado warning.
Ah, I didn't think about that.
I wrote one today, I could tell you.
Alright.
Are you ready?
Wait, what's it called?
Untitled.
Oh, well, okay then.
Are you ready now?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of speaking. A village sat in a wide valley cut high into the mountains. It was a place of plenty, a gash of green in the otherwise cold slate rising above on all sides. Those living in the village called the place Vu. I think that's how you pronounce it. Though those who lived higher in the mountains, burly miners digging for precious glints of yellow and blue, called it the Trough. Thank you. Those in the valley resented the... that was right. Those in the valley resented the use of this name, but meekly allowed its use by the hardy mountain folk. The people of Vu, or the Trough, had lived there for centuries. They were mostly farmers, though a fair number of merchants made a home in the valley for most of the year, save for the month when they would venture upward into the mining towns to sell the harvest's bounty at a premium. They would return home with bags filled with chips of yellow and blue tied to their fine leather belts, clinking brightly with the wealth. The next year, they would trade half of their shining flints to the farmers for a share of the harvest that they would, in turn, cart up to the mining villages yet again. Food flowed up in...
Flares.
I was worried about this. I'm not very good at speaking in long sentences or phrases like this.
It's all good.
Food flowed up and outward from the valley, and the yellow and blue would trickle down, gathering in the valley like a collection basin. This continued for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. Dozens of generations of farmer fathers and merchant sons were born, grew wealthier with the mountain's precious stone, and were buried beneath the plush pasture of the valley, until the beast descended. The mining folk in the higher reaches of the mountains had passed tales of the beast around for as long as their history stretched. As at the highest peak of the northernmost mountain, they said, lived the beast. It watched in all directions, through slit eyes, judging those below, biding its time until it would enact a righteous calamity. It was a nightmare of immense and terrible power, the miners would whisper. But it was also a patient creature. It would wait until it felt the world below had become irredeemable before unleashing such destruction that its judgment would be fulfilled. It was simply biding its time until an age of selfish sin before cascading down an era of sickness and madness, of fire and char and blood. And one day, after hundreds of generations of farmers and traders had lived and died in the valley, it appeared in Vu. The beast had risen in the Trough. It appeared without warning, with neither sound nor fury. It was simply there. Curled atop four legs, steaming breath rising from black maw, leathery wings folded on its hulking shape, it towered over the center of the village, ominously silent. It did not move. It did not even seem to be living, save for the seeping steam billowing from its slime-slicked snout. The village's warriors were called to arms, and ceremonial horn echoing off the walls of the valley, aching toward a pregnant silence. After a moment stretched thin, they rushed toward the beast, their spears angled in its massive form. The rest of the village watched from the safety of embroidered drapestry as the spears splinted against the beast's hide, the horned blades shattering like glass. Honed blades. The warriors fell to the earth, crying out as their arms splintered as their spears hung lifelessly at their sides. The beast did not stir. The village's warriors were buried the next morning, having perished during the night. Those who tended to their wounds would later claim their eyes turned black, as if their light was leached from within. The people of Vu, or the Tro, gathered to discuss what was to be done. The beast slumbered, but for how long? Why did it sleep? And perhaps most worryingly of all, how had it arrived in their valley? Not a soul had seen its arrival. It was almost as if the thing had simply materialized in the center of the village, or, some proposed, it had emerged from the earth itself. But if that were the case, how would the soil, their valuable, rich, rare earth, the source of their plenty and their affluence, birthed such a terrible creature? The villagers decided to stay in the valley. The creature slept, and the creature breathed. With each breath, its skin rolled, animating the thorny black scales into a rolling obsidian briar. But it did not rouse. It did not move. It did not rain terror from the skies, nor did it consume children by the score. It slept. The people of Vu considered sending an envoy to appeal to the miners of the mountain for help, but they knew that they would receive none. So the farmers continued to tend their land. The merchants made their yearly trek up to the treacherous trails to collect what little chips of wealth the miners had collected in exchange for the farmers' yield. Year after year, however, there seemed to be a little less. A little less harvest, a little less yellow and blue patched in the snowy alcoves carved from unforgiving rock, a little less green in the valley, a little less light. This continued for 20 years, until the day it began to rain. The people of Vu, or the Tro, watched the clouds roll in not from the south, whence the clouds usually arrived laden with water from a faraway sea, but from the north, where there was ice and stone and mountain. The rain draped the valley in a dampness that did not relent, but instead crept into every corner. The mountains themselves seemed to sweat and pour water into the valley. The water cried with a quiet rot. Or carried with it.
Carried with it a quiet rot.
Yeah. The first harvest after the rains began produced a meager crop, and what little could be gathered was black with mold before the merchants had a chance to trade it for their yellow and blue. Their livestock fared no better. The animals began developing weeping sores that became infected and killed with a quick fever. That winter, the people of the Tro, or the Vu, watched one another waste away as they began to starve. The people of Vu would delay asking for help no longer, sending an envoy to the mountains to appeal for assistance. They found the mines deserted. The people of Vu were truly on their own. The next harvest was worse. Every last crop had turned mealy and infested before midsummer. By the end of the season, the last of their livestock were dead. The people of the Tro watched one another descend into a state of hungry madness, devouring the rotting wood, sloughing from their homes in slimy heaps, and their fine leather belts that had once held yellow and blue, now sprouting sores of black mold. The village and its residents were rotting away. A group of villagers approached the beast after their last livelihood had perished, slogging through the swamp of waist-high mud to make a plea to the beast. "We are sorry if we have offended you, mighty creature. We offer ourselves to you in hopes that our sacrifice will satisfy your hunger." In unison, the villagers submerged into the tarry mud, suffocating in the muck. The beast slept. As the rains from the north continued into their third year, the few remaining people in the Trow began to prophesize about the beast. It had come and brought with it great devastation, they could agree. It had brought the rains from the north, and it had brought the rot to the village that would not relent. Squatting in what remained of their crumbling homes, they dreamt of the day the beast would be satisfied, when it would wake and leave their valley and allow them to farm the land. They dreamt of the day the miners would return, bringing with them the precious bits of wealth. The time will come, they said, when the beast will wake from its slumber and spread its wings, reaching from one end of the valley to the other, and with a beat of those mighty wings it will ascend aloft a squall. You see the dragon in the back?
Oh, God.
Yeah. And the wind will lift away our rot. The villagers waited for this day to come. A generation came and went, born into the rain and long rotten in the moldy dirt. The few survivors had long abandoned hope that the beast would return to the mountain, to its mountain perch. It was perpetual, a manifestation of their sin. The beast slept. Until it did not. The day the beast awoke, the villagers celebrated. They watched it stretch its long, horrible form into shape, hide shuddering as it shook the decades of rain from the thorny scales. They sang to the beast as it stood uncertainly and reached on its haunches, unfolding the scarred leather wings from one end of the valley to the other. The time of the beast's departure had finally arrived. The time had come for the cleansing wind. The beast beat its wings, emitting a tired and ugly groan as it lifted from the sodden earth. With a final sigh, it shot high into the air, sending a great gust of wind through the valley that toppled what dismal dwellings remained haphazardly standing. The valley was wiped clean. The villagers were knocked from their feet by the rush of the wind. As they struggled upright, they felt the sun on their skin for the first time. They rejoiced, their pale forms dancing a pitiful display of frailty. They could return to the ways of their ancestors. They knew they could know plenty. They planted their first crop before the grass had even greened, with a newfound acuity for hunger pains. Acuity for the hunger pains that plagued them constantly. But the grass did not wax green, and the crops did not grow. The decades of rain from the north had left the earth poisoned. There was no going back. They wept, convinced that they were doomed by their ancestors' actions, that the beast had punished them for some forgotten guilt. Their rot had been lifted. In its place, sterility. Sterility. Thank you. Terrible with words.
It's okay.
The sun shone, but it was upon a new land, a land turned to jagged, unforgiving slate, where perhaps bits of yellow and blue could be scavenged if one dug deeply enough to find a petrified leather belt. That's the end.
You remembered all that?
I don't have it with me to read. I obviously remembered it. Do you like it?
I did.
I'll print you a copy. What were you doing in Grandpa's house today?
I was just visiting Uncle.
But there's no one there to visit.
Just wanted to see.
Oh? Why didn't you ask if I wanted to go?
You were still asleep.
You could have woken me up.
Did you want to go?
Not really. Did you find anything there?
Something for you, actually.
What is it?
Guitar pick.
Why would I want a guitar pick?
You could use it.
I don't play guitar anymore.
Why not?
You left and everything changed. no one else would teach me, and Mom and Dad didn't want to get me lessons.
I can teach you more.
I don't want to.
Okay.
You can keep the guitar pick. I don't want it. I think it's probably a typo.
Okay.
Or no, it's I will.
Oh.
Strange spacing on that. Are you crying?
What? No, I'm not.
Oh, sorry. I freaked out for a second thinking that the audio capture stopped.
Oh, don't do that. I literally just felt my heart like skip a beat.
Okay, sorry.
Do me a favor. In that little moment, do a little like suspenseful like, and then be like, "Oh no, we're good." God damn it!
Yeah, my heart skipped a beat too. I was like, no,
Jeez.
no, there's no going back now.
Yeah.
Is it because that Jesse person kicked you out of your house?
Ben, I don't.
Or is it because you had to move back home since you couldn't find a job? Mom and Dad are worried about both those things. They think you're sad because of them.
Ben.
Okay, Ben, give me the phone. Kelly's crying, and I don't know why. I know, but let me talk to her, please. Come here, bud. Help me wind up this radio so we can listen to the weather report. Did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong, Kelly?
No, you're fine. Go help Dad.
Okay. I'm sorry you're sad. Hey, Kelly, are you okay?
I'm fine.
I don't believe you.
I'm fine. Really.
Okay. Are you close to home?
I can't tell. It got really dark.
I can't believe the sirens are still going off. This must be the longest tornado warning we've ever had. They're saying 2 more have touched down in the county. Listen, when you get home, we'll all sit down and have a talk. I think we need it.
Something with that flash.
I don't think so. There's a lot of things that get discovered with the Flash, and I spent so much time sitting here watching them, and I didn't see things. I think it's just like silhouetting the car in the corn or whatever that is. You really can't tell where you are?
5 miles out, maybe?
Okay, make sure you... What's that noise? Kelly, I'm gonna have to let you go. There...
Mom, you're breaking up.
Oh, Ben, get...
Mom? Mom? Oh, God. Are you there?
I have heartache right now. Just enjoy the ride for now. Looking at this beautiful art.
What? Oh my God. Did the house get basically torn up? Oh God.
The best part about that is that they show us that house at the very beginning of the game, the torn up dirt.
No. That's really sad. I'm not gonna cry, but that's like, oh,
But wait, there's more.
oh great.
So I've gotten about to this point.
Oh, God.
We have an epilogue to go through.
God.
And I think we should continue to it. She wished that she had called back then. Oh man, I don't know what to expect. Minnesota. Interesting.
I'm really sad right now. Damn it. Alright.
How much was it snowing? This will affect performance?
What do you think? A little bit?
Your call. You're the player right now.
Quite a bit. I feel like it's...
Oh, whoa, this is totally different. Whoa.
Oh, God. Okay. Sure.
Hello?
Hey, Mom. It's me.
Oh, so you can go left or right. Me? Who is me? Can't be Kelly. She never calls.
Oh, come on. It hasn't been that long.
I seem to remember the last time she called was in August?
That's not true.
Tell me, when have you called since then?
You admit it to me, then.
I bet you feel clever.
I sure do.
Uh-huh. What made you finally decide to call?
I don't know. I just wanted to.
That has to be a first.
I'm serious. I just want to talk.
Is there anything to the left or the right? Will this green pan?
I don't think so.
Oh, there it is.
God.
I believe you. It's just a surprise is all. Are you outside? Sounds like you're in a wind tunnel.
I'm waiting for my bus.
Your brother told me that you guys were going to be getting a snowstorm. Are you standing around in that?
It's finally starting to let up.
That's good. But why are you waiting for a bus? You got a car. You got your car fixed, didn't you?
I did. The roads are just really bad.
And taking the bus is better? How?
I'd rather do that than drive. Or actually, no. It made sense earlier.
I don't see how it could. How much longer are you going to be stuck waiting for it?
I have no idea.
You didn't bother to check the schedule?
Yes, Mom, I checked the schedule. It's just late.
What's keeping it? The roads?
That's my guess.
Which bus are you waiting for? Am I crazy or did I see something pop up on the screen?
Where? What?
In like the very center. Maybe I'm crazy. Alright, keep going.
It's the 404.
Okay. Couldn't you take another one? You could warm up, maybe get a little bit closer to wherever you're going.
It's not how buses work, Mom.
And how would I know that? I'm just trying to help.
I didn't say it was bad advice.
That's sweet of you. Trying to make me feel better. It's a start, but you have 3 months of unreturned calls to make up for that. Don't forget.
How many times do I have to say I'm sorry?
Oh, I don't know. Until I'm tired of hearing it.
Great.
I might let you off the hook if you can explain yourself.
The fuck is that? God. Fuck it.
Fine, we can skip over that part for now. But I would ask what you've been up to the whole time, wouldn't I? There you go. What's been keeping you so busy? Work?
About that.
Kelly.
Before you get mad, let me explain.
Please do.
I quit the coffee shop.
What?
Don't freak out. I got a new job.
Okay, that's good at least. Try to lead with that next time, okay? Spare me the heart attack. Did something happen?
It's kind of a long story.
Lucky for you, I'm listening.
You remember my boss, right?
Sure, the asshole.
That's the one.
What did he do?
We got into an argument.
Please tell me you didn't start it.
I didn't.
Good. So what happened? I wonder... So each of those bracket options, I think she's having a conversation with her mom in her head.
Interesting. Oh my god.
Oh god.
It's after the tornado. Oh.
That's why I started with, I should have called more.
Oh my god.
Because I think anytime you choose the bracket option, something crazy is going to happen in the environment.
I wouldn't talk to my mom about this. Oh my god.
What, you wouldn't tell me that he was a pervert and a waste of a human space?
No, you kill him.
I'd probably threaten it with intent. Whether I'd follow up with this, whether I'd follow through is up for debate.
Even if I didn't tell you the specifics, you'd at least ask it. Ask if...
You want me to fight him?
I'd love to see that.
You don't think I'm serious.
No, I definitely believe you.
Good. So where's the new job at?
A museum.
It sounds interesting. What kind of museum is it?
What? It's the Science Museum.
That sounds like it could be a lot of fun. I used to love going to museums. You remember the time we took you to the big museum in Chicago?
Yeah, when I was 10.
You had been begging us for months to take you. You kept going on and on about the new dinosaur they had and how it was the biggest and the most complete one ever. I thought I'd never hear the end of it.
I don't remember being that obsessed.
Oh, you were. Do you still have that stuffed, what was it, a T-Rex? The one from the gift shop.
It was an Allosaurus.
If you say so. Do you still have it?
Of course I do.
You had a name for that thing. What was it? Shoot, I can't remember for the life of me.
It was Allensaurus.
That's it. Thank you. That was going to bug me. What were we talking about? Oh, your new job at the museum. Are you liking it?
It's alright.
Just all right?
It's mostly paperwork.
That's too bad. Could you move up into something more exciting?
It's possible.
You never know. By the way, any chance you've asked... Well, let me start over. You never know. By the way, any chance you've asked if you can have some time off to come home for the holidays?
I haven't asked yet.
You were planning on coming home, weren't you?
Didn't come home, remember?
I remember. I just thought you might want a second chance at this one.
I can't just pretend.
Then don't blame me for what I'd say next. What do you mean you're not going to make it? That's 2 years in a row, Kelly.
Sorry, I'm just worried about the drive and...
I can't believe you, Kelly. You're going to have to tell your dad yourself. And Ben.
Okay, let's skip this part.
I hope you change your mind. Maybe you can come home after the holidays, before school starts back up?
I'll see what I can do.
If you need help with a plane ticket, let me know. When is this semester done for you?
Just a couple more weeks.
It's sooner than I thought. Are your classes going all right?
It's been a tough semester.
What?
My grades are terrible.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just the classes I'm taking are difficult.
I thought you were looking forward to this semester, especially that photography class. You bought that expensive camera and everything.
Turns out the teacher hates me.
That bus, by the way, did not have the bus number you said earlier. Come on now, Kelly. I'm sure he doesn't hate you.
Believe me, she does.
Oh, sorry, she? I just assumed. Oh, there's no question mark. Oh, sorry, she. I just assumed. Never mind. What makes you so sure she hates you?
She's always criticizing my work.
And she only does it with your pictures?
Sometimes, yeah.
Maybe she's just trying to push you harder than the others.
Doesn't explain my grade.
Well, what are you doing wrong? What does she want from you?
She wants me to be more experimental.
Like Picasso or something?
It's actually... Okay, sure, like Picasso.
Keeping it simple for me, huh? I won't argue. How do you plan to go about being more experimental?
I have no idea.
Couldn't you just fake it? I mean, explain why you're doing what you are doing as experimental without being completely true?
I could.
You don't sound thrilled about the idea.
I don't... I don't want to phone it in.
That's admirable, I guess. Don't forget, like, the priorities here. Grade's a grade.
Oh, God. I'm working on it.
Good. I hope you have a plan.
I'm meeting with my teacher on Monday.
Did you actually do that?
No.
Probably would have been a good idea.
Believe me, I know.
What about the final project, the one you showed me?
It has to be great if I'm going to pass.
It will be. I have a feeling.
I don't know.
Oh, that's something new in the background.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
What about the rest of your classes? Is there anything that you can do to help those grades out?
What's with all the questions, Mom?
I'm just trying to understand what's going on.
God. It hurts. It hurts.
Probably not. I wouldn't have talked to you in months. I'd want to know everything, especially about school. I was shocked when you told me about your grades that year.
The tutor didn't work out.
I was furious. I don't think I've ever been that mad at you.
It wasn't like I wanted it to happen.
No, but you let it happen again. You dug that hole for yourself, and I think you were an idiot for it.
Can we move on?
And to lie about it for me so long, it's just not how I raised you.
There's a lot more going on than you knew.
Then you should have talked to me about it. I'd want to be there for you, Kelly. I'd want to help.
Okay.
Talk to me, Kelly. I want to be here for you. I want to help.
I feel like I'm alone here.
Alone? But I thought you had friends up there. You told me about Hannah. And Kyle and his boyfriend. And hell, what about Jesse?
Jesse and I are having problems.
What kind of problems? Oh, clever.
He's been distant.
Distant how? Like you never see him?
No, we've been living together.
Uh-huh. This is news to me. Do I even want to know how long this has been going on?
Not that long.
We'll have to talk about that little secret another time. What's the issue then?
He's never home.
And from the sound of things, you're constantly busy. Maybe he has a lot going on too.
That's the thing I don't know.
You don't ask?
I have, I just get vague answers.
You think he's keeping something from you?
No, I'm afraid he's having a hard time too.
You don't think he's happy?
I don't think either of us are.
That's the real issue then, isn't it? I can't tell you what to do, but I do want you to be happy, and you're not. Something has to change.
Change could be worse.
Or it could be better. Either way, I think you two definitely need to talk. So, that's what's been getting to you? Or is there more?
There's Kyle and Peter.
What about them?
I hardly hear from them anymore.
Why is that?
They're just living different lives, I guess.
Different how?
They're trying to adopt a kid.
So?
It's just... they've moved on.
Doesn't mean you can't stay friends.
Oh, okay. No, but it makes it difficult.
Sure, I understand that. It happens. Though, and sometimes there isn't much you can do about it.
It still sucks.
You're right, it really does. So, is that all that's getting to you, or is there more?
That's it, I guess.
Are you sure about that? I don't mind listening.
I'm being insufferable.
That's how you really think I would feel about all of this.
What?
It's fine, I understand. You're not ready.
For what?
For whatever it is that you're trying to get out of all of this.
I just want to talk to you.
You want to let go of whatever it is you've been so damn determined to hold on to.
What would that be?
You'd have to tell me. That's your bus. Better get on.
That's not my bus.
They all go somewhere. Might be you don't want to get to where you're supposed to be.
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just bored. You seem to think that I should be.
Please, just be clear with me.
Get on the bus.
I don't want to.
Tough. Go. Call me soon, though, please.
Okay, I will.
Just be safe.
I'll try.
Yeah, depressing.
Very. That was very well put together, and yeah, Jeez, that was...
I'm not always a huge fan of games that, by design, are interactive fictions, generally, and that's not always the case. But this is definitely one that I feel like did a fantastic job because they utilized the interactivity.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of an interactive story if you don't really have much variety to your actions or your dialogues?
Yeah.
But that might be it. I don't know if there's more.
Yeah,
Yep, that's it. So that's 3/4 home.
Oh.
And I know for a fact that there are other paths you can take with your dialogue that lead to different outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
The path that you chose is actually pretty similar to the one that I chose for the main plot. And so I saw a lot of the same things. But I know that in the main screen or in the main menu, we can look at any like stories we've unlocked from Ben. There's other songs.
Oh. That's so sad.
Yeah. So, yeah, they really did all
Jesus. die. It's really, really sad.
The epilogue I kind of like because the main story ends on such a sad note, and the epilogue kind of mellows it back out.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave you just, like, feeling miserable.
Yeah. That... Oh, my God. I feel like I need, like, a second before I can really start talking about it. Like...
I mean, we could take a second if you want.
No, it's fine. Okay, super personal thing. So, going from somebody who has sort of dealt with that loss and not really having contacts before the loss, like, I guess it really did sort of hit home for me. So honestly, if they didn't have that epilogue in there, it would almost be like a huge disservice to what they're trying. I feel like they were trying to do.
It makes the message that the game is about that much more clear. Yeah. I think. I mean, hell, even the name says it all, right? 3/4 home. You were almost there. You were so close to, talking to your family and reconnecting with them.
Yeah.
And right before you could have made that step, it was already too late.
Yeah.
And that's both it says it in the epilogue, basically, like she wished she had talked to them more. And she could have picked up the phone at any time and called them, but she never took that last step. Mm-hmm. And even in the main plot, it's the same thing. You were almost home to be there with them, but it was too late.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very well done. I applaud the designers because this was very, 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 very well done.
I agree. The aesthetic was wonderful. The dialogue was fantastic.
It was written in such a way where you were like, yes, they gave you the options, but at the end of the day, you were making the story yourself.
Yeah, yes.
And I think that made it that much more personal.
Exactly. And that's why it pulls on your heartstrings, because you grow fond of this family because you're basically allowed to create them as your family.
Exactly.
And that's why I think that using this as an interactive fiction was genius, because you don't get that in a book. You pick up a book and you go, well, I can't relate to this at all, so I don't really feel anything for it. This allows 10 times the audience to relate to these characters. It doesn't even matter that the main character is female. It doesn't even matter a bit.
It really didn't.
And that's great. It shouldn't matter. And it did not stop either of us from having our personal touches in the story.
Yeah. This was very, very good. I highly recommend this. Seriously. It can be tough if you sort of understand where the message is coming from, depending on where, like, and this is me talking to whoever's watching. Like, if you've dealt with something similar to this, it can be tough going through something like this, depending on where you are in the process. But as somebody who has moved forward, this was actually very, I don't want to say sobering or something negative. It was like a reminder, you know? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I highly recommend this. I think this was very well done, very well written. The art was wonderful.
I think my only complaint is actually that while reading the dialogues, it's easy to miss a lot of the things going on in the art. And while that kind of gives it some extra reason to go back and play it, and you can change your focus, I don't really know how you would resolve that.
Yeah. Because
you have to read it in order to engage with it. But you want to look at the art because it's so beautiful and so many interesting things are happening.
Yeah, well, here, like, the couple cool things were the dragon, the fact that the story and the conversation did react to stuff that was happening in the background. I thought that was really cool. However, I almost am okay with you sort of missing that stuff, because at the end of the day,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what you see up there. What really matters is the conversation you're having.
I agree. All of the art only enhances the experience, but it's not necessary, and that's why, even though that's my one complaint, it's pretty minimal at that.
Yeah.
Because I completely agree. If there were things in the environment that you needed to see, then yeah, that would be kind of.
It would present it in a way where it's like, hey, go look there now.
Yeah.
Like for instance, anytime they were like, where are you at? Oh, I'm passing by the high school, and you can look up and see it, and then that would judge what your next response would be, which would be, oh, it looks a lot different and stuff like that. Like, I thought, like, the dragon was kind of clever and kind of cool, but once again, I don't think it was really about seeing shapes in the sky. It was following along with this really interesting story that Ben had written. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I do want to see some of the other stories that Ben will say. I'm curious.
Yeah, that was very interesting. That story was really kind of cool.
It was. I'm sorry for anyone that might have gotten frustrated with me fucking it up, but
way to go, Chris.
I do not read out loud very often, so that was. I'm rusty, to say the least, and anyone that watches our videos knows that I talk kind of funny to begin with. So
this is true.
Yeah,
very well done.
Yeah, I agree. If my information is right, I think this is $7, $6.99 or whatever, and then there's
Seriously?
like, yeah, and then there's an extended edition with like commentary and an art book. I think for like $10 somewhere, or maybe that's in a bundle. I don't really know, but we'll have a link for their website and all that jazz.
Honestly, go with the damn extended. Seriously, like, I feel like listening to the commentary or reading the commentary in this case would be super, super cool.
I think it would be cool. I mean, it's kind of whatever you'd like, you know?
Yeah, it is whatever you'd like. But for this, I would immediately go with the extent. Personally, I mean, like, comment, or subscribe if you agree, or something.
Your call to actions are terrible.
I know, they're horrible. I don't know this shit.
I hate call to actions, which is why I barely ever do them. I just do
like, comment, or subscribe if you like calls to action. Or call to actions, whatever. Yeah, personally, this would definitely be something that I would want to get, like, everything for, you know?
Yeah, and $7 for even just the base game is very... normally I don't feel like interactive stories can sell for very much, but for once I actually agree that $7 it's a pretty reasonable price for a game like this. And
definitely, because it offers so many different avenues and different ways that the story is told. I think that's super, super, super cool.
And it's, even though I played the first portion of this game, it was also very cool to sit down and see how you play through it too.
I won't lie, I'm a little, just thinking about like one of the first choices you had on where the story was going to go would be the gas.
You chose the same option that I chose.
Okay,
actually.
Because if I feel like here's my thought process with that. So when you were like, "Oh, who wants to play a sad game?" I was like, "Oh God, great!" So this is, and just looking at how the game was presented to me, I was like, "Well, I want to see where it goes, but I don't want to automatically set myself up to start crying halfway through."
Right.
So that's why I went with the half tank. I'm a little scared to see.
Yeah,
I'd rather read.
I have no idea what would happen. I don't know what would have happened had we chosen more snow. I don't know what would have happened if we chose no snow. I don't know what would have happened if we had like made our dad to be like a drunken asshole. Like, it could have gone in so many different directions. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Good.
This game is like the epitome of like a proper art house game too, which I'm a total sucker for.
Okay, so yes, I'm still sort of fledgling in the Affinity Archives, like verse. Like I'm still
new.
I mean, they're you and Nathan are clearly designated as designers.
Well, yeah, because
Jen is clearly designated as like a player and a follower.
you are our resident wrestler.
Go figure. But for me, in terms of games, just so people can kind of like gauge, I don't even know if you're still listening at this point. The game has ended. So if you're still listening, like, comment, subscribe.
Well, we're a design channel, so
yeah, it's fine.
Hopefully anyone that's made it this far actually wanted to hear this analysis.
Yeah. I'm all about story in games. Yes, there are certain games that I'll play just for nostalgia's sake, like Street Fighter or Tekken or whatever, like games that are part of a series that I've loved. But games like the first Dragon Age for me, or like Final Fantasy VI, like games that had a really gripping storyline that you couldn't put the controller down, not because the game, this is gonna sound really weird, not because the game was fun, but because you cared about the characters and wanted to see what happened next. Like I'm all about that.
I've been there.
Yeah. So this was very, very, very well done for me. I give this like a 10 out of 10. Honestly, I have no complaints. There are no things that I can say from a gamer perspective, or even from like a fledgling design perspective, that I would say is bad.
Fair. I mean, I'm certainly of the mindset that literally everything could always be improved. So I could nitpick on tiny little things, but I've already pinpointed really the only big thing that I figured that was worth mentioning.
Maybe one thing, and this is very nitpicky, the font being a little bit bolder. Because there were times where we couldn't really quite see the punctuation, which, honestly, if you're looking at it from a conversation perspective, I mean, we went through that whole thing, and there were only a couple times where we were like, "Wait, is that the end of the sentence?" Like,
yeah,
it ended up
it
really
barely
working out. It really
barely hampered our reading. I mean, I read like a dope anyway, but it barely it didn't hurt the experience.
No,
I do think that this font in general is just fucking awesome.
Yes,
because you get so much flavor out of it, and all it is little pieces that are missing from the font, and it makes it look like rain is passing. Yep. And it's so smart because it doesn't stop you from reading it, and yet it gives you so much flavor.
And something else that was
delicious.
Really interesting that we only really mentioned in the very beginning was that if I slowed down, so did time. Could the conversation have kept going?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know because
we were so engrossed.
No, I don't think it could, because when you stop driving, the conversation, the dialogue fade away.
Really?
Yes. So I think there's got to be something involving you not driving. I don't know if that's the case or not. Maybe they just want you to feel like you're actually controlling it in the environment. That could be it could be a lot of things. If they did nothing with having like things happen if you stop at the right places, maybe it's a missed opportunity. I don't think it's a huge deal.
I wonder if, like, sure, at the beginning, the text would fade away. I wonder if, like, if you got like halfway through and say you did have a small tank of gas, what if you stopping, you couldn't start back up because your car died?
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy, and you would hate yourself. Like, that would be so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And that might end up actually completely changing how the rest of the story would go, too.
Yeah.
Because then somebody could have come and got you.
I think that first decision changes a lot of the game.
Yes. Oh, God. Oh, so good.
I think that's all I've got for this one, though.
Yeah, me too. Mostly because I'm still crying on the inside. No, hats off to the designers. This was very, very good.
Bracket Games. I believe that was the developer. It showed us at the very beginning, but...
Yeah, I highly recommend this to anybody.
Yeah, so check it out. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll have a link in the description. And hell, if you play it and you like it, tell us what crazy shit you saw.
Like, comment, subscribe, and
Well, really, though, the one thing that I wish people would actually use more is the commenting on YouTube, because I'd love to hear people's either design, like their feedback on the design of the game, or like their ideas about what went on, or even their criticisms, or, you know, all that jazz. So in this instance, I'd love to hear like kind of what crazy stuff happened with anyone else's playthrough of the game.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good idea. Anybody who does do their own playthrough and wants to like share their experience or like how it spoke to them, please, I highly encourage you to do so. That is, mind you, for some that could be very personal, but letting us know how you felt about this story, I would be delighted to see.
Yeah,
and I would love to chat with some of you guys. So
cool. Well, that was 3/4 home.
10 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for Chris's reading.
Yeah, well, that was. I'll take 6 out of 10. That was good.
No, it was good. That's a D.
It's a D. I'm not failing yet, so you know.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna listen to some fucking, I don't know, like Aqua or something to like perk me back up. I don't know. Aqua's.
I'm gonna go play some Dark Souls and kill things to feel better now.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the archives. Thanks for watching.